Hi guys, welcome back to another webinar. So today we're going to do something a little different. Yeah, we're not going to focus on just the content, specific questions, etc. We're going to look at some big picture questions. And now the reason for that is that I'm quite active on some of the open GMAT forums, and there people have these questions repeatedly. They keep asking these things. Like for example, how much time is it going to take for me to prepare for GMAT, or in what order do I answer these sections? Like you have to choose the order, right? Whether it should be quant, verbal, DI, or something. So then in what order do I choose it? Like is it does it need to be like I should take my strength first, my weakness first, what factors does it depend on, etc. Or for example, I'm not doing very well in critical reasoning. How do I reduce my time in RC or MSR? MSR is a big problem as far as time is concerned. So there are these questions which are repeated on and on. And that is why I decided that let me put all these questions together and let's take a look at all of these one by one in our webinars. You guys are, of course, welcome to ask your own questions as well. And through these webinars, today and I don't think we'll be able to take all of them today. So perhaps next week as well, we can cover all such big picture doubts that you guys might have based on strategy, how to handle, etc. Yeah. Once I take a particular question, I take a particular topic. I'm going to call this webinar as FAQs of GMAT Focus. Once we are done with the particular question, you are free to ask your own doubt on that as well. Absolutely. Let's clear all doubts that we guys have on these. And of course, the recordings of these webinars will be available to you. So later on, in case you come across something similar, then you know where to go, what to look for, etc. Right? So that is the reason why I've planned these webinars. Okay, so I'll share my screen. We'll go through the various topics one by one. Yeah. The Q&A has been enabled. So whatever questions you have, keep putting those down over there. All right. So let me start this. Okay, so now the first question that people have, the first thing that they complain about, I mean, not so much complain, but still that GMAT, from GMAT Classic, we've gone to GMAT Focus. And why is it so? Look, many people feel that GMAT Focus is a little harder than GMAT Classic. It's a little more complicated to score well on GMAT Focus. So let's talk about that first of all. Yeah. Look, things have changed in the last 20, 25 years. The world is a different place in the last 20, 25 years, right? So there is a reason why GMAT brought in GMAT Focus. GMAT has always been, very up to date with what was required in the world today, in the real world today. And I'm not even talking about your MBA. I'm talking about what a manager typically needs. So then think about it today. Think about this one global company and think about, let's say, lower to middle management where you would likely start, let's say after your MBA. Think about the skills that the person should have. Yeah. And I'm talking about skills. I'm not talking about knowledge. Knowledge is something that you can gain very quickly, right? You read something, you read an article, you know about it, you check out some questions, some FAQs, and you know about it well enough. I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm talking about the skills that a person needs. So then first skill that a manager would need is a basic comfort with numbers. Do you agree with that? For example, okay, our competitors have increased the pricing by 10%. How does that impact us? Or let's say the supplier, will not be, the supply will go down by 50% because of these particular issues. So then what should we do, etc. Right? Or for example, if this is increasing, then how will it impact our product? So those kind of things, isn't it? So that basic skill with numbers, that basic understanding, not, not differentiation, integration, nothing like that, but the basic comfort with numbers. Agreed? So that is one thing that a manager would require. Then secondly, a manager needs to have very strong reasoning skills. Does that make sense? If this is higher than that, and if this is lower than that, then where does this stand? Right? So making out those relationships between different quantities, they have to deal with a lot of different factors. For example, there's a team of people coming, let's say working on CAD/CAM, a limited number of systems are available. So then how do you schedule them, etc.? So all those things a manager has to look at. Agreed? So that is another thing. Then one more thing, you will likely get reports, 50-page long report, 100-page long report with a lot of data in it. You will need to peruse it very quickly. You will need to take out the important points out of it, important information out of it. Maybe you'll need to make a PPT based on that. Maybe you'll need to present it to the top management. So something like that. Essentially, you should be able to read content that is given to you on any topic. It doesn't matter, because you don't know which industry you're going to go in, isn't it? And if it's a global company, then it's quite likely that it'll have a lot of different products. So then you need to be comfortable with everything. So then that is another skill, and you should be able to comprehend what is written in that. You cannot make a mistake in your comprehension of what is written. Yeah. So that is another skill that you need. Then one skill that is extremely important in today's world, that is your data management skill. There will be input from a lot of different factors. Let's say, I checked out ChatGPT, this is what it gave me. Then I checked out Google, this is the input from there. This is the table that we have from our database. And then now I have to make sense of all of it. And using that, I have to get some important information out of it, right? I have to bring out some meaningful information. I have to answer certain questions that me and my team are struggling with. Again, extremely important, right? So all these are various skills, and they are required by a manager, and that is the reason why they are a part of your GMAT. Look, they were a part of your GMAT Classic as well. I mean, this IR, the integrated reasoning section, came in 2012, but before that, we always had quant, we always had verbal, and we always had reasoning. Reasoning was always a part of GMAT. Yeah. Then in 2012, they introduced IR to see how important it is, and how it can predict the success of the candidates in B school. And they found most likely, and that is the reason why they came up with GMAT Focus, that there is a good correlation over there. So then that is the reason why we have GMAT Focus. Now, one thing that you might wonder is that, all right, so why do I have to learn these skills right now, isn't it? I mean, I'm yet to do my MBA, which is going to be 2 years. I'll likely pick up these skills at that time. And then, of course, once I join a company, I'm going to have a learning curve over there also. So I'll likely pick them up over there. That is not enough. Look, as I said, this is not knowledge. This is skill. It is something that you acquire by practice and over time. And the moment you go into B school, it's like being dropped into hot oil. And there's a lot of things that are happening, and it's not just the classes, the projects, also a lot of extracurriculars that and a lot of networking you are doing. So you don't have time. Now think about it. Take a different parallel example. Don't think about B school. Let's say if you're not comfortable with ratios, and in case you've seen my content, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not comfortable with ratios, but you attend my lecture on work rate, for example, tell me, how are you going to feel about it? I am going that, okay, so the rate over here is 2:3, so time taken will be inverse, that will be 3:2, and then I have my answer, okay, this is 30 minutes. And you are probably still struggling with the ratio. Okay, what is the meaning of this 2:3? And then how did this become 3:2? What is the relation, right? In case you are still struggling with the ratios, then do you think the work rate is going to make sense to you? No, isn't it? You're going to spend your time trying to figure out what is happening, what are ratios, what do you mean by 2:3, etc. Right? Now, this is what happens in your B school as well. In case you are not comfortable with these skills, with these basics, then you're going to struggle with the course content. Yeah, as in you're going to try to figure out the basics first. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to do your MBA well or whatever. No, nothing like that. But you will be able to make the maximum of your MBA. You will be able to focus on the management education part of it if these basic skills are taken care of. Yeah, you will be able to gain more from your MBA, and you will be smarter in the concepts of MBA in case these basic skills are taken care of. And this is anecdotal. I don't really know if it is correct or not, but this is what I hear from a lot of friends who are consultants and who are in IB and everything, that in 2020 when COVID hit, and then of course then there were a lot of relaxation given on GMAT by the various B schools, etc. So in, the recruiters are not happy with that batch. Yeah, this is what I hear. It's hearsay. I know I don't have data, but this is what I hear from friends. Recruiters are not happy with that batch. Why? Because there is this, either people have already acquired these basic quant and verbal etc skills in their school and in their college, and that is why they do well in GMAT, and then they come to B school and they make the most of it. Or if they haven't been able to do it, then while studying for GMAT, and that is why some people take more time, because it is a learning process, it is a skill that they have to acquire, then they have acquired these skills during their GMAT process. It's not just the number, right? I mean, a number of 750, I'm talking about classic. It's not, why is it coveted? Why is it that, okay, great, that means that you're really good? Because it just simply means that when you come to B school, you'll make the most of what is being taught at that time. At that time, you're not struggling with the basics. That skill part of it, either you already took care of it in school and college and etc. If you didn't, then while you were preparing for GMAT, you took care of it. Yeah? And that is the reason why GMAT Focus today is what it is. Yeah. For it is in your best interest to, to not take it to heart, to not worry about why has it become difficult. Please understand the environment today has changed, and these are the skills you need to be successful. So that is why this is going to help you not only in your B school, also in your future job and the rest of your career. So then keep a very positive approach about it. Yeah, keep a very you know that you are putting in the effort for the rest of your life. It's not just to get that one score. No, it is something that you're working on over a period of time, so that you develop that skill, so that you're able to think logically, so that you can reason out stuff. Of course, it may seem hard right now, yeah, but then once you develop it, then it will become really intuitive, it will become really natural, and then you're going to be very much more comfortable when you go to B school, and you'll make the most of it. Yeah. So okay, so then this is the reason why we have GMAT Focus in its current version and everything. So let's be a little more positive about